Hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges, the daily show that equips team leaders to lead through the challenges they face every day. So let me ask you, have you ever heard the phrase blue on blue? I was recently listening to Jocko Willink and Leif Babin's book, Extreme Ownership. And Jocko told a story about a blue on blue incident that he and his SEAL team had. And I immediately thought of how I can offer a challenge to you based on what he described as blue on blue. And I want to share that with you today. First, I want to share with you that this show is sponsored by the CLC team, and they help turn stagnating and unhealthy teams into high performing and high producing teams by creating effective communication while minimizing conflict. If that's something that you and your team need help with, visit clcteam.com or you can email me directly at paul@clcteam.com. Okay, so first, if you haven't purchased the book Extreme Ownership, How Navy SEALs Lead and Win, man, you need to buy it like today. I've only made it through chapter 1 barely, and it is solid gold stuff. One story that Jocko tells in chapter 1 was an incident that he referred to as blue on blue. This is the term they use for friendly fire, or when fighters from the same team mistakenly fire on each other while thinking they are firing at the enemy. As you can imagine, this is what Jocko referred to as anyone's biggest nightmare. During this one blue on blue incident that Jocko was telling us about, one Iraqi soldier died and one Marine was injured. To get the entire story, you'll have to buy the book. However, I wanted to tell you about how this can hit close to home with every single leader out there who has a team or several people under their lead. When I heard this story, I thought about how many of us are having incidents within our team that are extremely damaging. And although they are nothing compared to the blue on blue incidences that Jocko described that involve machine guns being fired at one another, the weapons that we use can be extremely damaging on different levels. One way, for example, is when competition goes too far. Good, wholesome, fun competition is great for morale and productivity within your team. But leaders must use caution to keep the competition within the team fun and productive. I've seen some competitions within teams turn pretty nasty pretty quickly and destructive to the point where teams were sabotaging each other just to win. That is not healthy competition. There's also humiliation when some team members aren't doing as well as others, and team members purposely go out of their way to bring other team members down and to humiliate them in front of others. There's also exclusion when team members purposely exclude others to give them an unfair advantage. This is similar to office politics where some people do whatever it takes to get ahead of their peers. There's also conflict that can escalate rapidly if leaders are not proactive in engaging and helping to resolve it. Now, all of these things are just a few things that have a negative impact on morale, cohesion, job satisfaction, and overall productivity within your team. And yet, they are all avoidable if the leader is getting involved with their team members. Today's challenge is to simply ensure that you are involved in nearly every part of the plan that your team is involved in. Now, don't get me wrong, you don't need to be doing everything. And by the way, doing everything is not leading. But as a minimum, you should be aware of all the stuff that's going on around and within your team. After all, you are ultimately responsible for everything that is happening within the team. The wins, the losses, the competition, and yes, the friendly fire. Hey, that's it for today. And don't forget to check out the links in today's show notes to get free things that will help you in many areas of leadership. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And until tomorrow, run to your challenges.